Hit up YouTube. This part of the video was recorded a couple days after the other part, but this video was the one where I said I found something that might have disproven it right before the video was originally supposed to go live. I thought of just not posting it, but there were a good amount of people that wanted to see it anyway, so here it is. I'll also stop where I think I disproved it and briefly talk about it, but yeah, this is that video. Hit up YouTube. I'm Eric. Thanks for coming to the video. Today, I think I did it. I think I cracked the code to the hardest piece of the Loonaverse to analyze. You see at the start of almost every Loona video, there are only two versions of it, and it hasn't made sense until now. Kinda. If you haven't picked up on it yet, I'm talking about the intro eclipses at the start of almost every Loona video. Now if you do end up liking the video, please do leave a like. It really does help support the channel and allows other theaters to find the video too. That being said, if you like what I do here and you want to see more videos like this in the future, consider hitting that subscribe button. I know a large percent of you are not subbed yet and you've seen at least 2 videos of mine, so why not just sub and get notified every time I upload a new video? Makes it that much easier and it's free. But let's talk about the intro eclipse. For a long time, it was thought that depending on the direction of how the eclipse happens would determine when in the Loonaverse timeline that video would take place. Eclipses from left to right would mean that the story would take place in the present or in the future. An eclipse from right to left would mean that the story would be in the past. However, if you look at the chart I made that analyzes the intro eclipsing at the start of every Loona video that has one, you would start to notice that using that logic doesn't make sense. I've said it many times in previous videos that in order for this time prediction theory to make sense, there has to be a singular point of reference to where each argument is true, which there isn't one. No matter where you put that point of reference, there is a counterpoint to it. Many of Loona's videos that involve the Loonaverse have time jumps that go forward and backwards, thus disproving any theory that tries to make out the intros to be time prediction. Why Not is a prime example of this time prediction theory just not working. The intro eclipse goes from right to left, signifying going back to the past, right? Well, that doesn't make sense because the moon in Why Not is clearly the moon from So What, just now further along its butterfly cycle becoming a new moon. If the time prediction theory was true, the moon in the Why Not music video would have taken place at any time before So What. So that takes us to now. I think I solved this mystery. Partially. I've been thinking, if not time, what else could these videos that have the eclipse direction from right to left have in common with each other? I made notes of everything I thought was important and landed on one common thing that each of these videos had that the videos that have the eclipse from left to right doesn't. Only one. One and only. No, it's not the entirety of one and only. That would have been an amazing segue. But there is the factor that makes one and only also have the eclipse from right to left. What I theorize is the one and only factor to influence which way the eclipse goes is the depiction of an apple. Yeah, not as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but it's true. There's not a single apple in any of these music videos here that the eclipse direction is from left to right. But each of these music videos that has the eclipse direction from right to left does have a depiction of an apple. Stop. Well, there is this fruit in the Kiss Later music video that is debatable if it's an apple or an orange, but the general consensus of me and the people in my community tab is that due to its shape and the leaf, it's an orange. Well, surely that's it then. There's no other apple tucked away somewhere that nobody will ever know. There's also this apple looking thing in Hyunjin's Around You music video. If it's not an apple, nice. If it is, and it was intentionally placed, then this theory is scuffed. But back to past me. Here's the apple in New, Heart Attack, One and Only, Egoist, Love Forever, Butterfly, and Why Not. There's also one in Star, but that one's a bit different. It's not a physical apple like the others, but it's the apple tree the members make in the choreo. This is probably due to it being a different production company that made the video. Luna almost always films their music videos with DigiPity, but for Star, they worked with a different company called Most Wanted. Ever wonder why the eclipse in the 2018 to 2019 teaser had the Ring of Fire be a shade of red and green? Well, I believe you have your answer now. But what does the apple mean? Well, that's why I said I partially solved it. Other than the apple's significance with YY by Y, right now I don't know what the significance is and why it makes the intro eclipse move from right to left. So I now throw this idea in the air to give others a better target to aim at, rather than that idea that doesn't make sense. Now, there's also one way to prove or disprove this theory, and that is through LOONA's next comeback. So, if the eclipse in LOONA's next comeback has an intro eclipse from right to left, then I predict that there is an apple depiction in it. If the eclipse is from left to right, it will not have an apple depiction. If either of these statements is true for LOONA's next comeback, then my theory here is correct. If either of these doesn't come true with LOONA's next comeback, well, I guess it's back to the drawing board. But yeah, that was the theory I made and might have disproven it and wasn't going to post it. But who knows, it might actually play out to be true. If you like the video, please do leave a like. It really does help support the channel and allows other theories to find the video too. If you like what I do here and want to see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.